invited to my eulogy. Before I started the key part of what I want to talk about, how many people here who graduated today are glad they went to funeral? Raise your hands. Okay. How many people here never thought you would actually live to see this day? How many people here supported you? Who are the people here who are the parents, the guardians, the friends, the people that supported you? Could you all raise your hands? How many of you collectively are wondering how you're going to pay for all this? How many of you who are graduating today would like to make $100 million? You'd be happy if you made $100 million. $500 million. $1 billion. How many of you want to just change the world and don't care about money? Okay? How many of you just want to chill out and don't care about anything right now? And how many of you don't have a clue what you're going to do at all when you graduate? Anybody? Okay. I was in that category. I sat here exactly on this floor 42 years ago. This place was not air conditioned then. It was 95 degrees, and it wasn't even called Cameron Indoor, just indoor then. And I sat here, and I thought the last person who would ever be invited to speak here would be me among my graduating class, because I had no distinctions. The only thing I had done while I was an undergraduate at Duke that distinguished me is I was cut from an intramural basketball team when there were only 4 other players on that team. So, as the dean said, I got very lucky in life, and when I sat here, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I decided I would try to practice law. I practiced law for a while, and what happened was my clients kept saying to me, "Are you sure you want to be a lawyer?" So I got the hint that I really wasn't a good lawyer. I thought I wanted to go into politics. I joined one campaign and ended 30 days after I joined. I joined President Carter's campaign. He was ahead by 33 points when I joined. He won by 1 point. When I got a job in the White House, I was 27 years old, became the Deputy Domestic Policy Advisor to the President of the United States, 3 years out of law school, a job I wasn't qualified for, but President Carter wasn't qualified either, I thought. And as you heard, I managed to get inflation to 19%, mortgage rates to 23%, very difficult to do. And as a result, I failed in practicing law, I wasn't very good in politics, and I wasn't very good in government. So I had to remake my career. And as I began to remake my career, I learned a number of lessons. And what I'm going to do today is give you 10 lessons or 10 rules that I learned in the 42 years since I graduated here that enabled me to be invited here today. Now, those of you who hear these 10 rules, this is all you need to know about life. So for those of you who worked hard the last 2 years to learn everything that you're going to learn, you learned in Fuqua, you don't really need to do all that. For those of you who didn't go to class, you didn't miss anything, because everything you need to know, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay? Now, there's no tuition refunds, though. Rule number 1, make sure you love what you're doing in life. If you do not love what you're doing, you're never going to be great at it. My mother wanted me to be a dentist. It's a noble profession, but I wouldn't have been good at it. You have to love what you're doing, and you have to be passionate about it. Greatness is achieved by people who are passionate about what they're doing. They don't worry about the money, they don't worry about the professional success, they're passionate about doing something that they think is important. And you have to do that. And to do that, you need to experiment. Nobody knows today, none of you know really what you're going to do and what you're going to do at the end of your career. And 42 years from today, you can't possibly know what you're going to do during your career. You couldn't know. But you need to try many different things. Experiment. Don't be afraid to experiment. Try different things. I didn't start my firm until I was 37 years old. So most of you are younger than I was then. You have time. And do not be afraid of failure. Almost everybody I know who's achieved anything worth doing in life has failed, and failed many times. Do not be afraid to fail. Experiment. Try many different things. Rule number 2, never give up. Never give up. Be persistent. Brilliance is great, but I never hired geniuses. I've hired geniuses before, and every time I've hired a genius, it didn't work out. I don't want geniuses working for me. I want people who are persistent, who don't give up. In my own career, I never took no for an answer. When people tell don't take no for an answer. Rule 3, focus your efforts. You can't do everything at once. Focus, focus, focus. That's the key. Make sure you start very small and focus before you try to conquer the world and change the world. Focus on one thing. If you're an innovator, start with a small idea, a small company, and focus just on that. If you work in a larger organization, there's nothing wrong with not being an entrepreneur, working your way up in a company. Make yourself indispensable. And you make yourself indispensable by focusing, mastering one area. If you master one area, other things will flow to you. Rule 4, make something happen. It's great to listen to all the rules I've just given you, but if you just sit on the sidelines and watch other people do things, you'll never achieve professional success or the happiness that I think you should want. You need to make something happen. Great rewards in life and in business and entrepreneurial kinds of activities occur to people who make things happen, willing to take responsibility. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of taking blame for something. Make something happen. Everything you work on won't happen, but if you don't try to make something happen, nothing will ever happen, and you'll be on the sidelines. Rule 5, learn how to communicate. Most of life is about persuading other people to do what you want. Think about it. Nobody can sit there by themselves and make something happen. You're really trying to persuade other people to do something. Even Albert Einstein, even with his special theory and general theory of relativity, he had to persuade other people to accept it. Everybody has to persuade other people to do it. You can persuade other people by your example. You can be George Washington and be a great military leader and persuade people by the demeanor that you have. But for most people, you persuade other people by writing and communicating orally. Learn how to do that effectively. Writing well is not a Twitter message. Learning how to write effectively, the King's English, will make you much more effective in the business world and in life. And learning how to communicate orally by practicing will make you much more persuasive in life and much more effective in communicating. Rule 6, never rest on your laurels. Now today, you have gone through largely the first third of your life. If you live a normal lifespan, you have 2/3 to go. Most of you, it can be said, have won the first third of life. You've got a degree from a very good school. You've got a business degree from a very good school, a great school. Now you have many people who want your services. You are the winners of the first third of life. Think of all the people who don't have the advantages you have. You have an enormous advantage over most of the people in the world. You're graduating today, and you've got a degree from a prestigious school. You're ready to go to work. You're going to try to conquer the world, do something significant. If, when you move forward, you ease up and you rest on your laurels, the remaining 2/3 of your life won't be as successful. So you've been winners for the first third of your life, but if you ease up and you don't work as hard the remainder of your life as you did to get here, you will have a perhaps nice life, but you won't reach all of your potential. And your goal should be to reach your potential. So never ease up, never sit on your laurels. Now, if you do all the things I said, I think there are 4 more rules you should worry about. 1, as was mentioned earlier, be humble. The most important people I've ever met are humble. There are many people who are great and they are arrogant, but they shouldn't be a role model. There are some people who do change the world and they're arrogant, but generally, people who are really accomplish something are humble and they admit mistakes and they have a great deal of humility and they get much further in life by doing that. And one of the things they do is they share the credit. They say, we, not I. We did this, not I did this. So remember to be humble no matter how great your accomplishments might be. Rule 8, give back. All of you are likely to make more money in your life than you've ever expected. All of you are likely to be professionally successful. Even if you don't just try to make money, money is likely to accrue to you. And if you do so, you should give back. But even of those of you who don't make money, you can be philanthropists as well. The word philanthropy is not rich people giving away money. Philanthropy is an ancient Greek word that means loving humanity. And you can love humanity by giving your time, your energy, your ideas, and if you're fortunate to do so, give your money. I pledge to give away the bulk of my net worth before I die. And I want to do that because I feel I have an obligation to my country and to humanity to make the world a better place. And your goal should be not to just make money, but to try to make the world, your community, a better place. And to the extent that you do so, you will feel much better about yourself, and you will have justified your existence on the planet Earth. Rule number 9, develop your reputation. You can develop your reputation over a period of time. As you move forward, your reputation will always go with you. Your reputation will be with you no matter where you go and where you are. People are always going to know about your can destroy that reputation in 5 minutes, though it does take a lifetime to build it. Most importantly, do not be tempted to take shortcuts, particularly on ethics. Your ethical reputation will be the most important thing you carry with you in life. Do not take shortcuts. It isn't worth it. Worry about your reputation, and you will have a much more enjoyable and professionally satisfying life. Rule 10. Thank you. The two words that are often not used very much are thank you. Now, it's easy to say thank you today, and what I want to do is make sure that in the course of the day, all of you say thank you to the people who made it possible for you to get here today. But it's easy to say thank you just today, but remember to say thank you repeatedly. When my daughter was married not long ago, my son-in-law came up to me and said, I can't tell you how much I am in love with your daughter. I said, well, it's very easy to be in love the day you get married. It's later on, that's the trick. So, don't just say thank you today, but say thank you to the people who made this possible for years and years into the future. And don't remember in your business life, in your professional life, or in your social life, to be courteous and to say thank you. Those two words will get you more if you say them meaningfully than probably anything else I've said. Now, there are two things I want to close with, and that's this. The most famous sentence in the English language is one that's been in my head for a long time. I am a collector of historic documents. I bought the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, and the Emancipation Proclamation, and other documents, so that I can put them on display where Americans can see them and realize how proud we should be of the privileges and the rights we have in this country. When he was 33 years old, Thomas Jefferson wrote this sentence: "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator for certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." Now, all of you, what you want to do now, as you move forward with your life, is to pursue happiness, and pursue it in a meaningful way, and to have a fulfilling life, a professionally satisfied life, and to be happy for you and your families. I think that is a worthwhile goal, and I think you should keep that in your mind, because this country makes it possible for you to pursue those goals. But another quote I want to conclude with is one that I have had in my mind for quite some time. When I was a young boy, I was mesmerized by the speech that John F. Kennedy gave in his inaugural address on January 20th, 1961. And it's well remembered that he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And it's an important principle, and one I tried to allude to. But it was actually his ending to me that stayed with me for the rest of my life. And he ended it by saying, with a good conscience, our only sure reward, with history the final judge of our deeds, let us go forth to lead the land we love, asking his blessing and his help, but knowing that here on earth, God's work must truly be our own. You have it within your power to pursue happiness, and no doubt God's work will be achieved if you pursue happiness and you do it in a meaningful way. It is within your power to do so. I have no doubt that you will achieve God's work on this earth, which is to make sure you have a happy and fulfilling life. Congratulations.